Alright, this is Richard again with Thrift-town Pharmacy. Today we're going to do a troubleshooting of your oxygen equipment. Mostly the questions that we're called in about, or people called in about, with the oxygen equipment. First, let's start with the concentrator. The questions that are normally asked about maybe why come the concentrator, the home fill, is not filling the tank. One of the things that may happen, a lot of times the patients would drop this bottle or one of the bottles on the floor or something like that, and it'll get nicked. Once it get nicked, this area where it goes inside of the port here, it won't let it go in there. It'd be too hard to either come up, too hard to pull out. So if you find yourself putting it on and it's hard and resisting to go in and not snap in like it's supposed to be real easy to do. If it's harder than that, then that's probably your problem. Another issue with this here, a lot of times the patients or family members forget to turn the tank off, or open the tank, or close the tank. Whenever you're filling, the tank should always be closed. So it's righty tighty, lefty loosey. The tank should always be closed whenever you're filling one of your tanks. It should always be closed. If it's not closed, the oxygen is just going to continue to escape out of these little holes right here if it's not closed. One other issue, or two other issues that is, these things are real easy to break. These here will snap on you. These little ends on here will snap, and they'll stay inside the machine, but this part here would actually fall on the floor. And that can be a reason why your machine is not filling at the time. So what we do is, whenever you're moving it around or having to walk past it, kind of walk away from it, but if you bump up against it, it will break, and they break real easily because it's just that tip on the inside of there. And that's not just there, also in the back of your concentrator. Same difference. Same kind of end. So you want to make sure that nobody bumps, pushes it up against a wall, or anything like that. The other thing is the dial here for your liter flow. If this liter flow dial is up past the 2 liter, it's hard to fill these tanks. It takes too long because this oxygen machine has to give oxygen to the patient as well as fill this tank. So in order for that to do so and be effective, you have to be at 2 liters or under in order for this to fill the tank. Now, once your tank is filled, then you can go back to your liter flow that you're supposed to be on by turning the knob and take it to your liter flow. But you want to always be on 2 liters or below 2. So we tell everybody to just be on 2 liters because that's what they want us to be on. If that's what the doctor has you on, just put it on 2. And that's just simply by turning this knob. All right. That's the troubleshooting for your home field device. Troubleshooting for your concentrator. There's several things that can happen. This part could get kinked real easily when you're putting it back on. Just say you put your water in your bottle, take your bottle off, machine is off. You put your water in your bottle. When you put your bottle back on, you see how it cross-threaded? That can happen. Anytime this thing catches air or it's not putting the oxygen in, it'll cause it to alarm. And it's warning the patient, letting them know that you're not getting oxygen. This can get kinked, this could be loose, or even this can be loose around on your bottle. So you want to make sure your bottle is secure. Everything is tight, not cross-threaded. Everything is tight, and there's no bends as far as like that. Should have a little crease or a curve going into your concentrator and into your bottle, but nothing like a kink, because now it's restricting the oxygen. It can also be restricted here on your hose. The hose can be kinked, and a lot of times it's kinked like this all over. So you want to go to your hose, just kind of run your hand down your hose all the way down until you get to your nasal cannula, and make sure that there's no kinks in none of the tubing.
So Mr. Richard, what would cause this hose to kink? What are some things that you see in people's homes that you go to? What's causing air not to flow through these lines?
One of the things is it gets caught up under the chair. A lot of times they have rocking chairs. A lot of times they have chairs and they'll move them, and these hoses will get under that chair and get kinked. Or a lot of times they turn them. They keep turning it, keep turning it, keep turning it like that because they take it off, put it on, take it off, put it on, and it causes it to roll over and get kinked like that. We have a solution for that, but what it does, it takes away from your water trap being on there. And it's called a swivel head that goes on there. It's a smaller little device that goes on there, and it swivels so it keeps the hose turning rather than stopping and kinking up. But then we won't have your water trap put on there. So we try to tell everybody, when you put it on, try to put it back on the same way you take it off and not keep turning it. It's just like your cord on your phone. Somebody takes it, they turn it, put it in, somebody else take it, turn it, put it in, and eventually it pops around the part that plugs it into the phone. With these here, they'll turn until they kink up like that. So you want to check for kinks, even on this water trap. A lot of time water will get in here, condensation will get in here. We'll tell the patient, turn the machine off, open it up, dump the water out, and they may put it on, but they may not push it all the way back in there. Make sure it's securely in there, and you hear a little pop, a little snap goes in there, and everything is secure, and that keeps that from causing it to alarm. Here's another issue that we have with the alarming. We tell everybody, according to the guidelines of Care, you have to use the right water to go into this bottle, and that's the still water. If you don't use the still water, you use bottled water or water out of the faucet. This is a filter. This filter is going to clog up. It'll get real stopped up with a lot of old gunk, and it'll cause the bubbles not to come up in here, and it'll start the machine alarming, letting you know that your filter is clogged up and no oxygen can come through there. That, and then a lot of times the machine would become unplugged. Somebody would move it not knowing. When they're cleaning it up, the machine will be unplugged. You hear this alarm beeping. A lot of times, a lot of the people or patients or whatever think that it's still plugged up because they hear that beeping. There's a built-in battery that's on the inside to let you know when situations like that happen or the lights go out in the house. When that happens, you'll hear that alarm. When you hear that, just turn the machine off, go to it, make sure that it's plugged up, make sure that your lights are on, plug it back up in the wall. Once you secured it, turn it back on. Once you set this dial on whatever you set it on, it'll automatically, when you turn the machine back on, automatically go back to that dial or go back to that setting. Those are some of the troubleshooting issues that we always get called in about, and it's real simple things like a kink in the line, improper water, or too much water in the bottle, because your water should be in between the maximum and minimum line, in between it, never at the top, never over this maximum line, just in between. Just make sure you use the right water. Make sure these holes are not kinked up whenever you put it on there, because it's sensitive. And once that patient is not getting the design liter flow that it has on here, whenever you can't get that proper oxygen, then this machine will start alarming. Now, on these lights, you have an O2 light, you have the caution light. This caution light, a lot of times when you first turn the machine on, that caution light right there just lets you know that this machine has a built-in analyzer, so it's analyzing itself. About 30 minutes after analyzing, it'll drop down to O2. Mind you, as soon as you turn it on, you're getting oxygen. It's just analyzing the machine, but you're getting oxygen as soon as you turn it on. Now, if it pops up to the red, which is your emergency light, then you would call us. Turn the machine off, call us, because that's the emergency light. It should never go up there unless something is wrong. These two lights are fine. This is your caution light, just letting you know that's a warm-up time. and then you have the O2 light. Now, if this light stays on longer than 30 minutes, then you would call us because it may be a kink in the line. That's why it's beeping, the wrong water in your bottle, or a kink here, or maybe just the bottle is not, the top is not on secure, and it's causing a gap, and the machine is catching air. Up here is the emergency. You automatically call us anytime it's in the red. If the caution light is on, you call us. We could probably walk you through it because it's just a troubleshooting issue, and all you got to do is just walk these lines down and go over some of the stuff that I just told you about. Other than that, that's the troubleshooting side. Little minor things that will go on to keep us from having to come out in the middle of the night. It's something you can take care of yourself right there. All right?